Hey guys, welcome back. Today we got a massive CGC box in. I'm going to actually put this on the floor. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show you what we got. This is a submission that I sent in the first week of June of last year. It is now the end of July of 2022. So 14 months. Suggestion, do not let CGC press your books. If you do, it'll take forever. Give me a second here, guys. Ugh. Now, what this box is this is a box of 25 vintage Star Wars comics. And this is from my personal collection from when I was a kid. So, when I was a kid, Star Wars hit the big screen when I was 6 years old. So if that dates me a little bit, it is what it is. But Star Wars hit the big screen and I was instantly enthralled by the whole thing. And they say that you can't really be a collector when you're really, really young, and I don't agree with that whatsoever. When I was a kid, I ran to the store and grabbed all the packs of trading cards and all the comic books and all the action figures. And I kept them all in really good condition and really good shape for a very, very long time. And one of the things that I did was I collected the original Star Wars comic run all the way to the end, and would go to the comic store every month and pick up a book and keep it, and I'd read it. And when the series was over, my comics were pretty in rough shape. So one day I decided to take a trip to Waltham, Massachusetts, to a comic shop there that was just down the street from Mr. Big Toyland. And I can't remember the name of it. I really can't. Someone, if they remember and you happen to be from the Massachusetts area and know what that comic shop was back in the late 80s, just go ahead and jot it down below. It was like, I can't remember, honestly. But I ended up selling my whole comic run to them. It really wasn't worth much. And I ended up selling a bunch of other things to them and traded it in as well. Got a cash trade deal and got some things from them that I eventually later just would sell, and kept trading up and trading up and trading up. And I've been dealing and collecting Star Wars ever since really I was 6 years old. So notice I don't call it A New Hope, because in my mind it's never been A New Hope. It's always been Star Wars. It always will be Star Wars, and I will never call it by that other name because it was really an afterthought. So on my iPad at night, I watch Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi, and they're all the original uncut version, non-specialized versions from way back in the day. So just leave it alone. They were perfect the way they were. Just give me perfect versions of the old one. I know that the despecialized editions are out there, but I really want an official release of like 4K release of the original Star Wars. That would be really, really great. But anyway, I ended up back in the late 80s and early 90s, I decided I was really missing my books. And back then, Star Wars wasn't anywhere. You couldn't find it anywhere. There was no new toys, no new merch, no new anything. Star Wars had pretty much come and gone. So I went out and bought a really nice full run of issues 1 through 107, 3 annuals, the Blackthorn 3Ds, the Return of the Jedi's 1 through 4, and I got them in pretty nice shape. Back then I thought they were in nice shape, and as you'll see here in a minute, maybe they weren't as nice as I thought, and I stashed those away. Then I went out and bought a reading set, so a really crappy version of the same books, just so I could read them and flip through them and just kind of have that nostalgia of being a kid. About a year ago, I decided I was going to, I started thinking about mortality and what would happen if something, God forbid, would happen to me. What would my wife do with all the stuff that I have? And then I'm like, you know what, I really should invest in either selling the books or getting them graded. And I decided to get them graded, mostly because I saw the values of comics back a year and a half ago had gone through the roof, and some of the books were just through the roof. And I'm like, I wonder how many of those I have. And I kind of made a mistake, and I sent in a bunch of books that were non-keys, and then I started saying, I really want a CGC 9.0 set or better. And then I got really crazy, and I was like, well, I really want a 9.8 set or better. And then, the money started to add up, and now I'm kind of like in it to win it now. And but anyway, this is a set that I sent in last June, and I finally got it in. I had them press and grade them, and I got them back. Let me show you what I got. Sorry to keep rambling, but I really love these books. I'm really attached to them. And let's go. Let's start from, they're not in any order whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the furthest back and we'll work our way up. This is the final issue. This is Star Wars number 107. This is in a CGC 9.2 and it's got some spine ticks, but it is the last issue. It's got white pages, but it is the newsstand edition. So that's kind of cool. Now, back in the day, the newsstand to direct edition ratios kind of flip-flopped, and towards the mid-'80s, it was about 50-50, where half of them were newsstand and half were comic shop direct editions. So this is 107. This is the last issue in the series, and this one looks great in a newsstand. I also got another copy of that, so let's pull that out. We have Star Wars number 107. This is a direct edition, white pages. This is the CGC 9.6, and I can tell right away this wouldn't get a 9.8. It's got kind of a spine, little spine tick on it, color breaking spine tick, so that'll never get a 9.8. But overall, this is a nice book. Not a bad book here. A little nice book to add to the collection. At this point, the art was very cartoonish, very kiddie, and they were trying to target young children. Mary Jo Duffy and Cynthia Martin were working on the book at this time, and I almost feel like that they were, really trying to get the younger crowd back into Star Wars. But there you go, Star Wars 107 on CGC 9.6 white pages. That's not a bad book. I'm going to save the big boys to last. So here is a kind of a fun book. This is Star Wars number 81. This is the Return of Boba Fett. This is a CGC 9.4, the direct edition. Not a bad book to have, kind of fun. Very, very cool. I have a 9.8 in this already, so I'll probably sell this puppy. But for the most part, not a bad book, CGC 9.4 with a white pager. Like I said, when I was a kid, I thought these books were the greatest books in the world, and I thought these were in the best condition ever, and really didn't end up being that way, but it is what it is. Here's another book, CGC 9.6 and that 81. This is off-white to white pages. This is a nice copy. Yeah, it's got a little corner thing going on up there. If you can see that, there's a little crease. I knew this was never going to get the 9.8. Part of the reason why I went out and bought this in a 9.8, because I knew my two copies weren't going to get it. Oh, we'll put that up for sale as well. All right. Next up, let's do. Since they're really in no particular order, I'll try to get them in order here. Let's do Star Wars number 18. There you go. And CGC 9.4, Star Wars 18. Newsstand. And back in the day, they were just starting to do direct, and they have Whitman versions of these as well. And as a kid, I remember seeing the Whitman versions in the grocery store at my local grocery store called Big Discount, and I saw them in a lot of different other places. So they were essentially reprints. The UPC was blacked out, had a little diamond up here. And when you're a kid, you're like, yeah, I don't like those. So I never got them. I actually did get them, believe it or not. I did get them, and I hated them because I really wanted the other versions. And you knew that they weren't real. They were, kind of a reprint, and I wasn't a big fan of reprints. So this is Star Wars number 17. Got kind of dinged on this one pretty good. It's a CGC 9.0, off-white to white pages. Like I said, I really thought these books were pretty good, and what I was doing, I was shooting for a 9.0 or better on these books. Eventually, someday I'll replace these maybe with a 9.8 version, but a lot of these are pretty pricey. So what I'll probably do is, buy the 9.8, sell the 9.0. Problem is once you get to these non-keys, they're really not worth a whole lot of money, especially in the lower grades, non-white pages. But again, newsstand there. So that was Star Wars 17. The next one's a pretty big one. It's Star Wars 16. And it's the first appearance of Valance the Hunter. And you know, when as a kid, this was another one that was in those Whitman books, the Whitman 3-packs. They were in, you know, cellophane. This is a 9.4. Not a bad book here. Not a bad grade for a Valance book. Again, this is a pretty big key because if you follow the modern Star Wars, you know, Valance is in the new Bounty Hunter books. One of the few extended universe things that Disney and Marvel decided to, characters to kind of bring back. This is not a bad book, 9.4, white pages. Again, it's the non-Whitman newsstand edition. At this point, they were mostly all newsstands. So that's Star Wars number 16. I have a copy of this one already. So this one I'll end up probably selling. But it's Star Wars number 15. As you can tell, we're going back. This is a really nice one. This is a CGC 9.6 white pager. Really nice. It's got some non-color breaking creases on it. And you know, I waited a year and 2 months to get these books back, and you would think that their pressing, which I paid for, and I paid a lot of money for, would have taken these non-color breaking creases out. So what I may do on this guy, since I think those are the only two defects that are really keeping this from getting a 9.8, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and look at the GPA, the fair market value on this guy, and just see, you know, what it's going to cost in a 9.8, the difference between the 9.6 and 9.8. Then I'll see what it costs me to get it pressed by a professional presser, and then maybe send it back in. If it's, you know, not really worth it, what I'll probably do is just keep it and sell it. I'm sorry, sell it as the 9.6. Probably should have put these in order, but I didn't. Next up is Star Wars number 14. And this was a huge surprise. I really wasn't expecting this grade at all. But like I said, when I was a kid, I was pretty picky as to what I was, you know, trying to get. Check that out. A CGC 9.8 white pager. Not bad for a kid. Not bad at all. I made a good choice on this one. Beautiful book. Very beautiful book. Dig this one. You know, no big first appearance or anything, but Carmine Infantino, man, that cover is freaking cool. And if you're a Star Wars fan back in the day, you'll know what I mean. He did some great work on this series. So cool. Some of his original art to these books just go through the roof if you don't get a page or cover by Carmine. I actually had original artwork to one of the Star Wars weekly covers, and like a crazy fool, I sold it. Yeah, leave me alone, okay? I make a mistake. All right, next up, let's see. We have Star Wars number 13. Again, trying to do them in order here. CGC 9.6 white pages. Another really good book. One of those books that you just look at and you go, Does have a crease on it, and a color breaking crease sort of right in the middle. It won't get the 9.8, but overall a nice copy. Yeah, another Archie Goodwin story. Carmine Infantino art again. 13, Star Wars number 13. Hard to believe these are from my personal collection. Not bad grades up to this point. We do get hammered on a couple though, I'm pretty sure. Especially in the lower grades. Here's Star Wars number 12. CGC 9.4, white pages. Like I said, I sent these in last June. They didn't receive them for 2 months in August. In August, it took them 2 months. Now CGC receives them within just a couple of days. They've gotten so much better. But really nice book here, 9.4. Again, I'll probably upgrade these at some point. But, you know, got to get some funds for that first. Next up is number 11. Also did really well on this one too. CGC 9.6. Couple of spine ticks here, which kept it from getting the 9.8, but overall not a bad lower end Star Wars issue and a really good grade. Star Wars 11. Pretty cool stuff there. Pretty cool stuff. Crimson Jack, who was a big character at the beginning of the series, is in it. That is Star Wars number 11. Star Wars 10 is next. Not so good on this one, but this one does have the pizzazz insert. Kind of like the Mark Jewelers inserts. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, that were catered to the military families. Pizzazz had an insert in some of their books, and there's an insert into this book. CGC 9.2. Looking at this one real quick, this is a really nice book, so I'm not really sure why it got the 9.2, unless it's on the back. Yeah, there's a little bit of wear on the back, color up. Off-white to white pages. Really nice book, though. So far I'm staying over 9.0, which is what I really wanted to start with, but you'll see here coming up that our luck kind of changes once we get into the single digits a little bit. Let's see, let's go to Star Wars. Star Wars number 9, you'll see what I mean. Thankfully, I have this in a CGC 9.8, but this guy got hammered, and I can kind of see why. I think I sent in the wrong book. So I have two of these books like right next to each other, we're in a short box, and if you can see on the bottom here, there is a bunch of color breaking creases, and I don't know why I sent this in. I think I just picked the wrong one, but really kind of rough here. But CGC 8.0 and white pages for number 9. Thankfully I have this already in a 9.8, but this is a worthless book. So just to give you an idea, this is a $23 book. It cost me $31 to get these graded and pressed. Lost money here. So if anybody wants this, just let me know. All right, next up is Star Wars number 8, and boy, did I hit the jackpot on this guy. I have no idea how this did it, because there's some Marvel chipping at the top of this book, but check that out. CGC 9.8 white pager. That's just pretty cool, man. I'm very happy about this. It also has the pizzazz insert in the centerfold, which is really cool. I don't know if that would make it any more valuable or not, but very, very cool. You'll see here as the grades, as we get down, we do really well, and then, yeah, it just comes crashing down. So, but really, we'll end it on a fairly high note. So, Star Wars number 8 and a CGC 9.8. Very, very cool. Again, just another one that I was kind of stunned at getting. This is the first expanded story in the title. It predates Splinters of the Mind's Eye, and it's the first appearance of Jolly and Crimson Jack. It's Star Wars number 7 in a CGC 9.8. I don't know why or how I did this, but not bad at all. Did pretty good. The only one I'm really disappointed about really was that 8 or 9, I should say, but you know, it's to be expected. I sent in the wrong book, and I got that one already, so it's not too bad. All right, let's go to the big boys, top 6. And this is where things get kind of a little bit ugly. Yeah, you know, this is the Star Wars adaptation. Star Wars number 6, this is the finale, CGC 8.5. Yeah, a little disappointing on here. You know, there's some spine ticks, and, you know, looking back at it now, yeah, I got hit pretty hard. Off-white to white pages, this is definitely an upgrade one. We'll have to get to that at some point, but yeah, kind of rough. Don't like to spend a lot of time on that. It's a little disappointing after you just got 2 9/8s in a row. Next up is Star Wars number 5. A little bit better here. 9.2 on this guy. Off-white to white pages, so we're back into the 9s. Not too bad. Again, part 5 of the Star Wars adaptation. So pretty cool. Again, got hit again. CGC Star Wars number 4. on a CGC 9. Oh, and a cracked case. Well, it wouldn't be me. Look at that. Wouldn't be me if we didn't have a cracked case. Oh well, that's the way things go, I guess. Let's put that off to the side. Gotta hope the rest of them aren't like that. All right, we get into the big boys now. Star Wars number 3. And this one got hit pretty hard, but it's to be expected. That bottom corner here, a lot of color breaking there. 9.0. Not too bad. Kind of understood that one. All right, here we go. Star Wars number 2, first appearance of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Good news, bad news. 9.4. Off-white white pages, unfortunately. Got some creases on the spine. My other copy is just destroyed on this one, so the other one's not even, I wouldn't even consider sending in to get graded, but considering how much this book is right now, to get a nice copy of this is going to cost me a little bit, so not too bad. There's, multiple spine ticks on there. Again, I don't know if you can see in there, but there are a couple spine ticks. Is what it is. Now this one I knew I was going to get hammered on because I have another copy of this book that's graded a little bit higher, and I knew this one because it's got a lot of problems with it. So when it came back, I wasn't really too surprised. But it's Star Wars number 1. It's an 8.0. Still not a bad book. First appearance of just about everybody: Princess Leia, R2-D2, C-3PO, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, all the big guys. First appearance of stormtroopers, you name it. First appearance of the Death Star. Just this is the big boy, one of the big boys. I have a 9.0 signed by Howard Chaykin in this, so this isn't too bad. This will be a seller. I might actually sell those two, sell the Chaykin as well, and sell this guy and get a 9.6. Can't afford a 9.8 right now. But that's what I think I'm going to do. All right, here we go. So last year when I was looking at getting books graded and doing some price checks, I came across some of the big boys, like number 1, Star Wars 68, Star Wars 107, Star Wars 2, and then I came across these guys, Star Wars number 42, first appearance of Boba Fett. I had 3 of them. And when I looked at them, I'm like, whoa, these are actually pretty nice. These are pretty nice books. And didn't really know what was going to happen, so I sent them in. Not too bad, 9.4. I really don't think that this guy could be improved any. If I could get it to a 9.6, that would be great, but there is definitely a crease here and by the staple that I just don't think can come out. I'm not really a big fan of the wrap either. It's kind of cut off at the top. The Comics Code Authority stamp is kind of cut off. So I don't think this would grade any better. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to, I'm going to talk to a professional grader and see what they can do. But not bad, 9.4, first appearance of Boba Fett. And to follow that up, we have another one. CGC 9.4. White pages. Now this guy, it's got a little corner ding and a crease that can easily come out. Staple. Yeah, I don't think I can improve this either. My thought was if I could get these pressed, maybe we could get a grade bump, but I don't think so. Still, nice book. And last but not least, we might as well finish it off with a another one. This one's a newsstand, which at the time, this was what, 1980? Yeah, this was very, very early in the process. So they were mostly all newsstands at this point. So for whatever reason, these are worth more. Mostly because they sat on a newsstand, a metal rack somewhere, and the nice quality of these books tend to sell for a lot more. But this is very early on in the process when they were going to the direct ones. So it was probably what, 80-20, 70-30 at this point in favor of the newsstands. So, but overall, you know, kind of nice to have one in one and one in the other. Really wish they were higher grades. But you know what? These are my copies. These ones I picked out as a kid. These are 30. These been in my possession for 33 years. So I'm pretty happy that they survived, and you know, that I still have them. That's it, guys. 14 months in the making. They all arrived good, except for one. And how does this happen? I don't know. It is what it is. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the long video. Big submission. Really happy to have these books back. And now we'll wait for some more books. Hope you guys are having a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.